big of a test is that going to be against Houston? This is a team that's just right above you there. It's going to be a good little match on Saturday.
Yeah, Houston's a lot like us, right? They have a lot of the ball. They defend really well, and they've lacked scoring goals. So they win games 1-2-0, 2-1, a lot of one-score games. And how can we, be that team to score first, right? Houston and ourselves usually win the game when we score the first goal. So it's going to be that battle between who can score that first goal, be that threat in front of goal.
Cristian, how important was it to get an opportunity to take a break? You guys have been pretty hard over the last couple throughout the summer. How refreshing was that, and what does that do for you guys mentally as well?
Yeah, mentally just getting away from the game, right? We would have loved to have gotten away from the game with a good taste in our mouths, but unfortunately it was a bit sour the way things ended against San Jose. But still, the 3 days off, it was really nice to recover, to rest and recover. We've had something like 38 games already this year. It's a lot with all the travel that we do. So really nice to be able to relax with our families, step away from the game. But then again, when you step onto the training field after those 3 days, how can you be as sharp as possible and be as motivated and see the enthusiasm in training? And we got that today. So really happy for the training that we got.
And in that same vein, you mentioned competition day. What are you seeing out of your teammates in terms of growth? Obviously, early in the season, you guys were struggling. Did you see a shift in the attitude at practice, or what was it that made you guys gain that next step?
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like our whole team in training and attitude has been really good this year. Our locker room has been really good about coming out here, train each and every day, try to get better. And I feel like at the beginning of the year, it was a lot of just the ball not bouncing the right way, not feeling as confident as we probably are now. And now we're seeing it come together. Guys are not injured. A lot of guys are contributing. We're seeing goals scored by many players. Young guys are starting to step up, and so that's what we wanted all year, and we're seeing it now. But now we have 4 games left, so really important to get some results so that we can push with confidence going into the playoffs.
With 4 games left, do you take that differently? Kind of like it's playoff from here on out? Is there a change of mindset? How do you close down the season with 4 games left to go?
Yeah, I think we've since I've been here, we've always been in a position where the last 4 games mean a whole lot more, right? Because usually we struggle and then we start getting better, and so now we're fighting for an even better playoff seed. So these last 4 games for sure are playoff games. They have playoff implications, and so. And to be fair, all the teams that we're playing are all within 3-4 points, and so it's going to be really important, vital for us to be able to place even higher to get results against these teams. So it's do or die at this moment, and we need to treat it that way.
You've always been a polyfunctional player, but obviously you did a lot more of holding mid and center mid early in your career, and then you went to the winger. Where are you at right now with is there anything that you're trying to get back in terms of form or rust or understanding of when you push, when you get behind certain spaces?
Yeah, I mean, look, I have gone, this has been the story of my career, but I've gone from position to position. I've rotated throughout the game from position to position. So it's not just about starting in one position, but it's also where you end up. And so for me, getting back into the groove, right? I'm playing with a young guy next to me, so how can I be as vocal as possible? How can I be a leader? Now I have to be a little bit more defensive-minded, and now I'm also thinking about spraying the ball and making sure that the guys in front of me get touches on the ball. And so that's how my role changes. That's how my mindset is now. We've gotten a lot of good play out of our wingers, and Pedro's stepping in now, and Georgie has done well, and Paul as well. So, it's possible that I may stay there, and even next year we'll see. But my role has changed, and now that's how my mentality switches.
Your mentality has changed, but you've also mature with this club and really cemented yourself as somebody who we look at as part of the leadership group. What are some of the things that you're trying to pass down to your teammates that you may be able to talk about that are not taught at the lower levels?
Yeah, I think with our younger guys, they're very good, nice, young human beings, right? And sometimes when we're on the field, we're that nice, good human being, and sometimes you need to switch, you need to change, you need to have a little bit of attitude, you need to have a little bit of that swagger, that confidence, that that sense of leadership where you're going to communicate and yell at a player to get back or to move right and to shift. And sometimes we don't see that from our young guys because they're scared. And so, me being here for such a long time, I feel extremely confident about doing so on the field. And I was certainly shy and a good kid at one point, and you have to morph into, especially in the middle, to be a little bit of a leader communicating. These players on our team, these young guys have a lot of quality, but how can we get a little bit more out of them? How could we make their lives a little bit easier? By communicating, right? And so that's something that I always emphasize, and hopefully guys like Obed, Josh, Jackson, guys that play especially in the middle of the field, it's extremely important to have that cohesiveness and being able to boss guys around.
How difficult was it to learn that from, being what you said, not necessarily nice, you're a nice human, but a professional, and was Ozzy instrumental in teaching you those things?
Yeah, look, Gonzo, Ozzy, they talked about, making your life easy, right? By being able to communicate, by telling your teammate in front of you where to be, so that you don't have to run a little bit more, right? But half of it, honestly, is just that willingness to do so, right? You got older guys in front of you, you have older guys behind you. You can't be afraid to tell them where to go. And that was always my fear, right? Telling Clint and Noba, shift right, shift left, Marco Papa, shift right, shift left. Like, I don't think they want to be listening to a 19-year-old saying that, but at the end of the day, right, that's how you grow as a person, as a player. And so I can't wait to see what these guys' careers end up as.
Along that line, the ability to shift from being nice to having kind of a hard nose, and is it as easy as flipping a switch? When you're giving advice about making that flip, how do you do it, and how do you tell them to make that switch?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of a mentality, right? Understanding that guys aren't going to be upset at you for telling them where to be and trying to make their lives easy, right? I think all of us understand the sport and all understand what the demands of the game ask for, and so it's just a mentality switch so that you can make your life a little bit easier on the field.